Trust Statute of Limitation and Fraudulent Conveyance. I've been in the asset protection industry for 27 years as of this recording. Our company is 112 years old, and we have been establishing trust in the Cook Islands for about 24 years. Now, the statute of limitations on fraudulent conveyance is 1 to 2 years, and that's 1 year from the date the trust is formed and funded, or 2 years from the cause of action. If somebody gets into a car wreck and they're sued, that incident of a car wreck would be the cause of action. So once that time period has elapsed, that's when the statute of limitation fraudulent conveyance time period has expired. And some people maybe have the misperception that the assets aren't protected until that time period has elapsed. It's not the case. First of all, it'd be unusual for a lawsuit to be filed right away anyway, because the courts in the U.S. Or other jurisdiction typically take a considerable time period to go through all the steps and procedures and the trial and so on. That eats up a significant amount of the clock. And even if somebody filed a lawsuit in the Cook Islands the next day after the money was transferred there are still significant barriers to protect the assets from being taken. And number one, first and foremost, is the judgment creditor would have to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that the person set up and funded the trust not to keep any creditor from getting their money, but that particular one that was bringing the case. Very difficult one to prove. And they would have to prove that beyond the shadow of a doubt, which is a pretty significant level of proof. Typical civil cases in the U.S. are ruled on by a preponderance of the evidence. That's like 51% of the evidence for one side versus 49% or less for the other side. Whereas the fraudulent conveyance statutes in the Cook Islands, the beyond a reasonable doubt, that's like a 97% to 3%, for example, proof. And so that's a very, very difficult one to surmount. And with the thousands of trusts we have established over the years, and a very high percentage of those in the Cook Islands, we've never had a client lose money in an instance like that. So the barriers are still significant, even if a lawsuit is brought in the Cook Islands anyway. So that gives you a little background on the statute of limitation on fraudulent conveyance for Cook Islands Trust, and I hope you find this information useful. Thank you.